Imagine the World Cup final is underway. 80,000 people are screaming inside the stadium. The score is 0-0. The team is exhausted. The coach has run out of ideas. The fans' heartbeats are going through the roof. And then one player receives the ball. Just one player. He beats a defender, makes the pass, creates the goal, and brings an entire country back to life. In football, we casually call this kind of player a one-man army. But here is the twist. Football is actually a game of 11 players. So how can one person become the engine of an entire team? Today, we are looking at players from famous World Cup teams who are not just players for their countries. They are almost like emergency buttons. For anyone who is new to football, here is the simple explanation. A one-man army is the player whose team looks normal without him, but suddenly becomes dangerous when he is on the pitch. In basketball, think LeBron James. In American football, think of a quarterback. In cricket, think prime Virat Kohli. And at the World Cup, some players become the human version of hope for their entire country. Let us start with Argentina. Argentina's one-man army? Lionel Messi. And it is not just because of his name. Messi is the kind of player who seems to watch football in slow motion, while everyone else is running at normal speed. In football, dribbling means controlling the ball with your feet while moving past an opponent. But Messi does not simply dribble. Messi gives defenders a question paper that nobody knows how to answer. His role for Argentina is simple. He scores goals. He creates goals. He handles the pressure. And whenever the team looks confused, just give him the ball. That is football's simplest emergency plan. The interesting thing is that Argentina has historically produced many great players. But when Messi is playing, the team changes emotionally as well. It feels like an entire country is playing with its battery connected to one left foot. Now let us talk about Portugal. Portugal's one-man army? Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's style is completely different from Messi's. Messi looks like magic. Ronaldo looks like a mission. In football, the box is the dangerous area around the goal. When Ronaldo is inside the box, defenders know that 1 second of hesitation could mean disaster. Header? Ronaldo. Penalty? Ronaldo. Last-minute chance? Ronaldo. Big moment? Ronaldo. Ronaldo's one-man army factor is not only about his skill, it is also about his mentality. He is the type of player who behaves in the 89th minute as if the match has only just started. And this is important for beginners to understand. Not every football goal is beautiful. Sometimes a goal is created by pure hunger. Ronaldo is a walking poster for hunger. For France, the one-man army is Kylian Mbappé. If Messi is a calculator and Ronaldo is a machine, then Mbappe is a cheat code. Mbappe's biggest weapon is his speed. A football pitch is already huge, but when Mbappe starts sprinting, the pitch suddenly looks small. A counterattack happens when a team wins the ball while defending and immediately races forward to attack. Mbappe is a nightmare on the counterattack. One long pass, one open space, and that is it. For defenders, the moment becomes a horror movie. The craziest part? Mbappe is not just fast. Many players are fast, but having elite decision-making while moving at that speed is rare. It is like playing chess at highway speed. Now Brazil. Brazil's one-man army has usually been Neymar. Brazilian football is Hollywood. Style, flair, tricks, and confidence. And Neymar is the main character. In football, flair means stylish and unpredictable play. Neymar does not only beat defenders, sometimes he embarrasses them. Stepovers, flicks, and sudden turns might look like showing off to a beginner, but their real purpose is to destroy a defender's balance. For Brazil, Neymar is the player who can suddenly transform a boring match into street football. And the pressure in Brazil is on another level. Winning is not enough. You are expected to play beautiful football as well. Imagine someone telling a team, "Bring us the trophy, but make sure you dance while doing it." That is Brazilian football pressure. Now England. England's one-man army? Harry Kane. Kane does not look flashy. He will not perform tricks like Neymar. He does not have Mbappe's rocket speed. But Kane is dangerous because he solves football like an accountant, cleanly and efficiently. A striker is a player whose main job is to score goals. Kane is a striker, but here is the twist. Kane does not only score, he also creates chances with his passing. Sometimes he stays close to the goal. Other times he drops deeper to set up his teammates. For a beginner, the easiest way to understand Kane is this. He is like a basketball center who scores points and provides assists. Before every tournament, England fans build up hope. Then they become nervous. Kane is their insurance policy. Belgium. Belgium's one-man army? Kevin De Bruyne. If you are new to football, De Bruyne might not look exciting at first. He does not constantly perform crazy tricks, but his football brain is ridiculous. A through ball is a pass play between defenders into open space for a teammate. De Bruyne plays through balls as if he can see the future. His passes do not look like normal passes. They look like someone switched on perfect aim assist in a video game. For Belgium, De Bruyne is the engine, the GPS, and the remote control. And here's the interesting part. Sometimes the most dangerous player is not the one who moves fastest with the ball. Sometimes it is the player who can send the ball into the smartest possible space. Croatia's one-man army? Luka Modrić. For beginners, that name may sound less flashy, but Modrić is football's wizard professor. Based on population alone, Croatia does not look like a football giant. Yet at the World Cup, they have repeatedly shocked much bigger countries, and Modrić is usually at the center of everything. A midfielder is a player who connects the defense and the attack. Modrić is a midfielder. In simple words, he is the traffic controller. Where will the ball go? Will the game become fast or slow? Will the team panic under pressure or remain calm? Modrić decides. And the most fascinating part? He is not physically huge. But in football, timing and intelligence often matter more than size. Modrić proves that you do not need a superhero body. You need superhero decision-making. Germany. In the modern era, Germany's one-man army has often been someone like Thomas Müller. And Müller is strange, in the best possible way. He is not the fastest. He is not the strongest. He is not the most stylish. But somehow, he is always in the right place. In football, positioning means being in the correct spot before the moment happens. Müller's superpower is finding space. He moves into a defender's blind spot. He disappears for 1 second. Then suddenly, he is standing in front of the goal. German football is famous for structure, discipline, and systems. Müller is the glitch inside that system. He follows the rules while also breaking the opponent's rules. Spain's one-man army idea is slightly different. Historically, Spain has depended more on its system than on one individual. Short passing, control, patience. But players like Pedri could become the new brain of Spain. Pedri's game is not loud. It is smooth. To understand Spain's style, imagine the opponent desperately wants the ball, but Spain refuses to let them touch it. It is like one group at a party holding the remote control and refusing to let anyone else change the channel. Pedri's job is to create rhythm. In football, rhythm means how smoothly and naturally the team moves. And that is the surprising part. Sometimes a one-man army is not the player who beats 3 defenders. Sometimes it is the player who keeps the entire team calm. The Netherlands one-man army? Virgil van Dijk. Finally, a defender. Beginners usually remember the goal scorers, but defenders can also become the heroes of a match. A defender's job is to stop the opponent from scoring. Van Dijk's presence feels like someone installed a security system in front of the goal. He makes tackles. He wins headers. He organizes the players around him. And most importantly, he makes attackers feel doubt. Fear is not always visible in football, but when an attacker takes an extra touch or thinks for 1 extra second before shooting, you know the defender is winning. That is Van Dijk's one-man army factor. He may not score the goal, but he deletes goals before they happen. Uruguay's one-man army? Luis Suarez. Suarez did not play clean textbook football. He was chaotic, aggressive, annoying, brilliant, and everything in between. For a striker, one of the most important qualities is instinct. Did the ball bounce into a dangerous area? Was the goalkeeper slightly late? Was the defender sleeping? Suarez would be there. Uruguay is a small country, but it has a massive football history, and Suarez was their warrior striker. His style was simple, never allow the defender to feel comfortable, not even for 1 second. Sometimes being a one-man army is not about beauty. Sometimes it means becoming a permanent headache for your opponent. Poland's one-man army? Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski is the textbook version of a striker. To show a beginner what an elite goal scorer looks like, just show them Lewandowski. He does not simply wait for the ball. He creates space. He moves behind a defender's shoulder. He sends the goalkeeper in the wrong direction. And then he finishes. Finishing means turning a chance into a goal. Simple, but not easy. Lewandowski's problem is that Poland is usually not one of the strongest teams in the world. That means he often receives fewer chances, and that is the pressure of being a one-man army. You will not always get 10 chances. You might get only one, and an entire country will expect you to score. Egypt is not always a regular World Cup giant, but Mohamed Salah is a perfect one-man army example. Salah's left foot is dangerous. His speed is dangerous. His finishing is dangerous. But his story is even more interesting. Salah brought Egypt into the global football conversation. When he receives the ball on the right side, defenders know he wants to cut inside, yet they still cannot stop him. It is like a step-back three-pointer in basketball. Everyone knows the move is coming. The player still scores. That is superstar level. South Korea. South Korea's one-man army? Son Heung-min. Son is football's smiling assassin. Friendly face. Deadly finishing. One of Son's biggest strengths is his ability to shoot with both feet. Most footballers have one stronger foot, just like people are usually right-handed or left-handed, but Son is dangerous with both. The defender thinks, will he go right or left? The answer is yes. For South Korea, Son is not only an attacker, he is the captain, the symbol, the hope. And when Asian teams challenge major European countries at the World Cup, players like Son prove that the football map is not limited to Europe and South America. The USA. The USA's one-man army? Christian Pulisic. For American viewers, Pulisic is an easy gateway into football. He is sometimes called Captain America. And yes, the nickname sounds dramatic, but the role is real. Compared with the global giants, football or soccer is still a growing project in the United States. Pulisic is the player who gives the American team an identity. He dribbles, he attacks directly, he accepts pressure, and in big moments, he demands the ball. That is important in football. A star player is not simply someone with great skill. A star player is the person who says, "Give me the ball," when everyone else is afraid. Japan. Japan's one-man army is less about one name and more about collective speed and discipline. But a player like Kaoru Mitoma clearly stands out. Mitoma's dribbling style is fascinating. He confuses defenders through body movement. It looks like he is moving left, then he goes right, slow, then suddenly fast. Japan's football is sharp, organized, and brave. Mitoma adds unpredictability to that system. Japan has shocked much bigger teams at the World Cup. And here is the beginner lesson. A small team does not always mean a weak team. Sometimes the smaller team has the more dangerous plan. Morocco. Morocco's one-man army? Achraf Hakimi. Hakimi is both a defender and an attacker. His position is called fullback. A fullback plays near the side of the pitch, defends, and also moves forward to attack. A simple comparison would be a basketball player who locks down opponents on defense and then races forward to dunk on the fast break. Hakimi can destroy the right side with his speed. And Morocco's World Cup run showed that team spirit and intelligent defending can shake the biggest countries. But players like Hakimi create the difference. He does not simply participate in the match. He stretches the game. He makes the opponent uncomfortable. Senegal. Senegal's one-man army? Sadio Mane. Mane's game is direct, fast, aggressive, fearless, and his importance is bigger than goals. For Senegal, Mane is a source of confidence. When your team has a player who has competed against the best defenders in the world, everyone begins to believe. Belief is underrated in football. You cannot see it in statistics. It does not appear directly on the scoreboard. But in the 70th minute, when every player's legs are tired, belief is what creates one more sprint. Norway does not qualify for every World Cup, but in a one-man army discussion, it is impossible to ignore Erling Haaland. Haaland does not look like a striker. He looks like the final boss. Tall, fast, powerful, and ruthless. His game is simple. Put the ball into the box. Damage will happen. And that simplicity is what makes him frightening. Some players create beautiful chaos. Haaland creates efficient destruction. It is a reminder that football can have many different styles, but the final result is the same. Goal. Now the question is being a one-man army a blessing or a problem? The answer is both. It is a blessing because one superstar can make an impossible match feel possible. Messi can open a game with one pass. Mbappe can destroy a defense with one sprint. Modrić can bring calm under pressure. Van Dijk can prevent a goal. But the problem is that when a team depends too heavily on one player, the opponent's plan becomes simple. Stop that player. Stop the team. That is why the best World Cup teams do not win with only a superstar. They also need a system, supporting players, a defense, a goalkeeper, and sometimes the hero becomes an unknown player whose name nobody knew before the tournament. That is the magic of the World Cup. You arrive to watch one superstar, and sometimes you leave after discovering a brand new legend. So, here's a quick recap. Messi is Argentina's brain and magic. Ronaldo is Portugal's mentality monster. Mbappe is France's speed cheat code. Neymar is Brazil's flair button. Kane is England's calm finisher. De Bruyne is Belgium's passing genius. Modrić is Croatia's midfield professor. Van Dijk is the Netherlands' defensive wall. Lewandowski is Poland's goal machine. Son is South Korea's two-footed danger. Pulisic is the USA's Captain America. Hakimi is Morocco's turbo fullback. And all of these players prove the same thing. Football is a game of 11 players, but sometimes one player can change the meaning of the entire story. When you watch the World Cup, do not only follow the ball, watch which player demands the ball under pressure. Watch which player makes his teammates better. Watch which player makes the opponent nervous. That is the real one-man army. And the next time you watch a World Cup match, keep this question in your mind. Who is this team's emergency button? Subscribe if you want to understand football in a simple, fun, and beginner-friendly way. Because the next time a match is on, you will not only cheer with the crowd, you will understand exactly how the game is being changed. Now the question is being a one-man army a blessing or a problem? The answer is both. It is a blessing because one superstar can make an impossible match feel possible. Messi can open a game with one pass. Mbappe can destroy a defense with one sprint. Modrić can bring calm under pressure. Van Dijk can prevent a goal. But the problem is that when a team depends too heavily on one player, the opponent's plan becomes simple. Stop that player. Stop the team. That is why the best World Cup teams do not win with only a superstar. They also need a system, supporting players, a defense, a goalkeeper, and sometimes the hero becomes an unknown player whose name nobody knew before the tournament. That is the magic of the World Cup. You arrive to watch one superstar, and sometimes you leave after discovering a brand new legend. So, here's a quick recap. Messi is Argentina's brain and magic. Ronaldo is Portugal's mentality monster. Mbappe is France's speed cheat code. Neymar is Brazil's flair button. Kane is England's calm finisher. De Bruyne is Belgium's passing genius. Modrić is Croatia's midfield professor. Van Dijk is the Netherlands' defensive wall. Lewandowski is Poland's goal machine. Son is South Korea's two-footed danger. Pulisic is the USA's Captain America. Hakimi is Morocco's turbo fullback. And all of these players prove the same thing. Football is a game of 11 players, but sometimes one player can change the meaning of the entire story. When you watch the World Cup, do not only follow the ball, watch which player demands the ball under pressure. Watch which player makes his teammates better. Watch which player makes the opponent nervous. That is the real one-man army. And the next time you watch a World Cup match, keep this question in your mind. Who is this team's emergency button? Subscribe if you want to understand football in a simple, fun, and beginner-friendly way. Because the next time a match is on, you will not only cheer with the crowd, you will understand exactly how the game is being changed.